Scott, I want you to speak to us more about this incredible idea that your Kung Fu training has helped you in business. Speak to us about that.
Right, well, there's a few lessons that I've taken from it, and I remember very clearly there was one lesson that we were having, and when I first started training with my teacher, who's a 32nd generation Shaolin monk from the Shaolin Temple in China. So he's Chinese. And when I first started with him, he couldn't speak English very well. So he often spoke in metaphors, and it's a very kind of that old sort of understanding where you kind of imagine the Karate Kid and those sort of things, where the teacher's trying to explain things using metaphors, because a lot of things sound contradictory. And we had one lesson once, and he basically said to me, Kung Fu ultimately comes down to a certain kind of power and an explosive energy that they call Faizhen power, which is it's an explosive energy. And I watched him do this, from going from this very relaxed, kind of very soft, and then wow, he would explode into this energy. I was watching him, and I said, how do you create that energy? And he kind of thought about it for a while, and he said, the movement creates the power. And that stuck with me. It's one of those lines that just kind of stuck with me. The movement creates the power. What does that mean? The movement creates the power. And then I started to realize that in order to reach a certain goal, you don't stand there and build it up. So if you wanted to, for example, break something, or you wanted to generate a certain amount of power at a specific point, a specific destination. Let's say you want to break something with your hands, or break a board. You actually don't put the energy in the where it's not supposed to be. So you won't tense up here. And what happens in business is a lot of people spend a lot of time planning and really focusing and really putting a lot of procrastination, and they really focus on something that is got nothing to do with the end objective in terms of its actually ability to get there. So we spend a lot of time planning, too much time procrastinating, when actually what we should be doing is we should be taking steps, no matter how small, to get to those destinations. And that's the difference. And what I realized was that if you read a lot of motivational business books, a lot of business books, and a lot of conventional business teaching, they will say, no, you've got a plan, you've got to have your business plan, you've got to have your spreadsheets, and you've got to have this, and you've got to put this marketing plan together, documentation. And 99% of that never materializes. And what I realized was that I'm not saying don't plan. I'm not saying don't do that. All I'm saying is take steps towards your goal. And what I realized was the steps actually accumulate the energy you need to finally get to that destination. And that changed everything for me. And what I realized was if you've got a document to write, don't procrastinate. Don't sit and think about it. Open the document. Turn on your PC. Open Word. Write the heading. Little by little, your destination will materialize. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons.
You're the founder of no fewer than 3 organizations. You're a gold medalist, and clearly this concept is really working for you. So to the person who is watching this video, who decides in their life, I want to create that power through the movement, where do they start? Where do you begin? And where can I get the tools to help me?
Wonderful question. The answer to that question is start taking the steps now. You don't have to leave your job if you want to be an entrepreneur tomorrow and then suddenly jump into the great abyss of entrepreneurship. If you want to be a great painter, you don't have to have everything ready. You don't have to do all the courses and spend money on all this and the most expensive paints. Just take the steps. Get a piece of paper and start drawing. Take it step by step. If you want to create a masterpiece, but you just don't feel like you have the patience to do it or the time to do it, take 5 minutes out of the day. If you want to become fit and you want to actually grow yourself physically, start by running 3 minutes a day. Walk out of your house, run to the end of the street, and run back. That's all. Stop then. Don't have an intention of pushing yourself or trying to be great or having this huge, great destination. Just start with those smaller steps. They always said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So my advice is just take that step. Take that first step, and then let the energy to finish your goal and to reach your dreams appear naturally.
Scott, if somebody wants to contact you online, do you have a social media presence? How can we get in contact with you?
Yes, well, I'm on Facebook, but the easiest way to do it is just to email chairman@newera.org.za. I'm around, I'm available. I'd love to hear anybody's comments.